What caused peasant revolts in medieval Europe? Have you ever wondered what made peasants rise up against their lords in medieval Europe? The story of peasant revolts is rich with economic struggles, social tensions, and political conflicts that shaped the era. These uprisings were not random acts of rebellion but, rather, responses to a series of pressing issues faced by the lower classes. At the heart of these revolts was the feudal system. Peasants were tied to the land and had to work for local lords. They owed labor, taxes, and various dues, which often felt harsh and unfair. Over time, several key factors led to widespread dissatisfaction among peasants. One major issue was economic hardship. Heavy taxes and new levies imposed by the ruling classes created significant strain. For instance, the English Peasants' Revolt of 1381 was triggered by a poll tax that affected all peasants equally, regardless of their wealth. This tax was the third of its kind since 1377 and was 3 times higher than previous taxes. Peasants were already struggling due to the economic impacts of ongoing wars and the crown's financial demands. Another factor was the devastating impact of the Black Death. This plague struck Europe in the mid-14th century, drastically reducing the population. While this created a labor shortage, which could have improved peasants' bargaining power, it did not. Laws were enacted to limit wages and restrict peasants from moving freely to seek better opportunities. Landlords attempted to reimpose conditions of servitude on free laborers, which only fueled resentment. Social and legal oppression also played a significant role. Peasants faced exploitation from local authorities and landlords. Attempts to increase their obligations and enforce harsh labor conditions created a sense of injustice. The rigid social order treated peasants as inferior, adding to their frustration. Class conflict was another driving force behind these revolts. The traditional social structure divided society into 3 groups: those who worked, those who prayed, and those who fought. As tensions grew, peasants and other lower classes sought a greater share of wealth and status. The label of peasant became a negative mark, highlighting social separation and inequality. Political factors also contributed to the unrest. Many revolts were responses to unpopular rulers or nobles who failed to address the grievances of the peasants. The English Revolt occurred during the reign of Richard II, who inherited a legacy of economic and social turmoil from his predecessors. In summary, peasant revolts in medieval Europe arose from a mix of economic pressures, social injustice, demographic changes, and political dissatisfaction. These uprisings challenged the feudal order and revealed the growing tensions between social classes during the late Middle Ages. Although most revolts were suppressed, they played a role in gradually changing medieval society and governance.